In early 2013, Hasbro graced us with a new Star Wars action figure line. Larger than the traditional 3.75-inch figure line, we were given the Black Series, a new 6-inch figure line. Featuring better articulation and sculpting than could be managed on the smaller figures, the line took off and hasn't done anything but pick up speed since. And one staple of any Star Wars figure line is the Stormtroopers. Armored soldiers of the Empire with a few film variants and endless comic, cartoon, and video game appearances, they definitely make for easy figures to make. Right in the very first wave, we got the Hasbro Stormtrooper sculpt on the Sandtrooper, and it has been repainted and re-released 19 times, not including reissues. Now in 2020, Hasbro has finally resculpted the now 7-year-old body, and it seems we may have seen the end of this golden egg of a sculpt. So let's take a stroll down memory lane and revisit the Black Series Stormtroopers. The first use of the Stormtrooper body was not even a Stormtrooper, it was the orange pauldron Sandtrooper, and it was a fine example of what could be made in this figure line. Featuring excellent articulation and really well done weathering paint apps, the Sandtrooper makes for a stellar figure that holds up to this very day. 2 waves after the Sandtrooper, we got the standard white Stormtrooper, the second of many uses of this body sculpt. It retained the good sculpt work and articulation, but accurately lost the weathering. All in all, it is an excellent figure. Another 2 waves after the Stormtrooper, there was a color change on the packaging, and also on the Sandtrooper. We got a new Sandtrooper featuring the black pauldron. Featuring similar weathering and the same accessories as the orange pauldron, it holds up just as well. All in all, another excellent figure. Near the end of 2014, we got the most different Stormtrooper, being Han Solo in Stormtrooper disguise. This is a reuse of the body with the original Han Solo head sculpt popped on the neck, and a new sculpted hollow helmet to fit his head into. It was a good way to freshen things up, and it was executed very well. Early in 2015, in the next wave, we got Luke Skywalker in his Stormtrooper disguise. Like Han, it was the original Luke head with a hollow helmet on a mostly original trooper mold, but it was tweaked a little so the abdomen was shorter, allowing the figure to stand shorter, as he was a little short to be a Stormtrooper. They also redid the belt, adding a clip for his mini communicator, a little change that wasn't necessary, but it was accurate and a welcome addition. Another good job from Hasbro. Around the same time, late 2014 to early 2015, Target got an exclusive figure set, being the Shadow Squadron set, and the set included the Shadow Trooper. It was just a black Stormtrooper with a black pauldron and the 3 guns available with the Sandtroopers. It was a very cool figure, and it was the most different of any trooper at the time. Later in 2015, we got our first Force Awakens wave, and with that, the red and black packaging was created, and early into that, Entertainment Earth released a 4-pack of figures, 2 of which being Stormtrooper repaints. One was the white pauldron Sandtrooper, weathered just as well as the prior Sandtroopers and featuring the white pauldron. He was a great addition to that set. The second figure in that set was the Crimson Trooper. I truly do not know where this is from. If it's from a game or a comic I haven't seen or read, but what I do know is that he is a red Stormtrooper, and he looks very cool. And I like him enough to own 2 of him. All in all, 2 great figures from an overall great set. Near the end of 2015, Walmart got the exclusive Battlefront Shock Trooper. He's another repaint featuring red markings over the white armor, and he looks really good. I saw a whole case at my Walmart the day before payday, and they were all gone the next day and never got restocked. But early in 2019, he got reissued to GameStop, and I managed to grab 3 of him. He's a cool figure, and I love mine. Late in 2015, Amazon got an exclusive Trooper 4-pack, and the only Stormtrooper was a battle-damaged Trooper. Just a white Trooper with random black smudges. It was okay, but I used mine to make a custom Trooper Commander and never got another one. Honestly, it's kind of a meh figure to me. 2017 was the 40th anniversary of A New Hope, and in the Retro Card Wave 2, they reissued the White Stormtrooper. I found a few of him, and opened them like the heathen I am. Later in 2017, he was again reissued in the Red Box line. No differences to the 2013 Wave 3 figure between either of those ones. Technically issued in the end of 2017, but really found in stores in early 2018, was the Sandtrooper and Dewback Vehicle Pack. The Dewback was cool, and the Sandtrooper was just okay. It featured a dirty gray pauldron, and it looked alright, though the weathering leaves some to be desired. It is the worst weathering to date on a Sand Trooper. It's not terrible, it's just patchy. It's not very consistent. That said, I still do like this figure a lot. I just leave him on my do-back. Later in 2018, we got the Mimban Stormtrooper, a Walmart-exclusive figure tie-in for the Solo movie. This figure was cool. He had a resculpted helmet because it had a larger forehead plate, and he had a tattered cape. The body was all reissue, though, and he was really well done with really nice, dirty mud paint effects. It's a figure I honestly do love. In early 2019, Target got an exclusive Stormtrooper Luke, this time featuring dirty paint apps and a new head sculpt with wet-looking hair, for this was after he was dragged under the water in the trash compactor on the Death Star. This was a weird release. It was in stores for a week or so before Father's Day, and the day after Father's Day it was found on clearance everywhere for $5. That's actually what I paid for mine. It's neat, but nothing too special. If you had to pick a Stormtrooper Luke, I would say go with the regular one and not the underwater dirty one. Around the same time, we got the GameStop exclusive Jump Trooper, featured in Rebels and Battlefront 2. It's a cool figure. He has a new helmet and jetpack. He also has new shoulder pads. Otherwise, the body is basically a white Stormtrooper. I got 2 at release, and I found 3 more after they went on clearance for $5 each. It's a figure that I honestly like a lot. GameStop did get a second exclusive Stormtrooper later in the year, which was a reissue of the Battle Damage Stormtrooper from the 2015 Amazon Trooper Pack. But this time the Trooper had some explosion effects. I was waiting for it to go on sale at some point, but it never did, and after a year, the 3 at my store kinda just vanished. All in all, it was just another meh figure. In early 2020, we got a great repaint through GameStop, the Stormtrooper Commander from the 2008 Force Unleashed video game. I love this design, and assumed we never get it due to its non-canon status. I even made a custom, but Hasbro came through and got us this really cool repaint. I straight up love this figure, and it's one of my favorites. Not just favorite troopers, but favorite in the line. Very shortly after the Commander, GameStop gave us the Shadow Trooper from the Force Unleashed. This figure's very cool. It features body parts cast in transparent blue plastic with black paint over it to give it the energized effect as the figure would go invisible in the game. It's a very cool way to show off the effect, and it makes for a really cool figure. Lastly, the final use to date of this body mold is for the Carbonized Stormtrooper. It is a standard Stormtrooper but painted silver. It looks really cool, and even though silver Stormtroopers have never been a thing to the best of my knowledge, I got to. I can imagine the Emperor having some flashy silver troopers at some formal event or something, and I'm happy to have these guys in my always growing plastic ranks. So here we are at the end of the line, or is it? Amazon is getting a funky holiday Stormtrooper later this year, and the pictures seem to show it being the old sculpt. But I'm sure that's probably the end of the line for the sculpt. It's definitely not a canon design, but expect a review of it for sure. Otherwise, that's it for this body mold for now. In 2013, Hasbro made a sculpt that was so good it held up for nearly 20 different releases and several reissues. Sure, it had little quirks, minor inaccuracies, but I really liked it, clearly, since I've bought every variant in some way at some point, and most of them I've bought at least 2 of, some many more. The new sculpt definitely looks better and the articulation is better in most ways. It's for sure the better figure, but I'm sentimental. I like them both equally. The old body sculpt brought me joy for 7 years every time I got a new trooper, and that means something to me. The new sculpt surely will do the same in time, but I had to make this video in appreciation. Thank you, Hasbro, for the old troopers. Great job on the new ones, and I can't wait to see what's next. And thank you, everyone, for watching this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like and comment. It means a lot to me. And until next time, may the Force be with each and every one of you.